to him quicker and more efficiently, and we can break for lunch. You know, it's that kind of thing. You know? It's not fuck around. Tell me what you want, and I'll do it. You know? It's sort of like that. And if you're that kind of actor, then the next step is not actually that far. You know, you have a wonderful opportunity when you direct a movie to bring together this great collection of hearts and minds. You know, that's when it exploded in my head when I was in pre-production. I realized, oh shit, I get to pick everybody. Right? So I get to pick the production designer who's work. I used the guy that did a thing I did called called Spotswood in 1991, and I remember walking to this set. He'd made a moccasin factory, you know. So all the leather and all that sort of stuff was set out, you know. And then I remember seeing the movie and going, man, the director missed what was there, you know. That shit was amazing. And the camera's like all in a way facing the wrong way. And I used the costume designer from another film. I used, you know, a lady called Jo Weeks as my script supervisor, who's famous in Australia for being an absolute terror for directors, you know. They're scared shitless of Jo Weeks, you know. She's just gargantuan mind, and she has absolutely no qualms whatsoever in being as blunt as a brick if she thinks something is crap, you know. What better person to have right next to you when you're making a movie, you know? And deep into the shoot, she was sort of making her, you know, usual sort of sledgehammer comments about something that I was doing, you know? And I just looked at her and I was like, Jo. So I worked with her 25 years ago, you know, as a kid. And I said to her, you were one of my principal teachers, you know? This sledgehammer approach of yours taught me when I was a young actor to take responsibility for my personal continuity of the character, because it just makes post-production easier, you know? Think about what you're doing, just don't drift around. Think about it, do everything for a reason, you know? And I said to her, you're a principal mentor of mine. You're just wrong on this occasion, so shut the fuck up. Sorry, I didn't say that at all. I just saw an opportunity for comedy, so I took it.
Right, let's get some questions. Hands in the air. Over here, gentlemen, right down here. Blue and, sorry, suit. Yep.
Russell, you're welcome to Dublin.
Excuse me.
My name is Simon. I've got two things really. The first one is, wow, what a film. I think for a man to sort of fill up and let the missus see it, unbelievable. Very, very powerful film, so congratulations and well done. Before you started this, and obviously principally you're an actor, and now you're on both sides of the lens, what do you feel that you learnt after all of this? What do you feel actually, what are you walking away with?
That's a very big and broad question. I could sort of, you know, I could probably make a dozen things up. You know, the reality is, I know the nature of film now, you know. I've been doing it for a long time. I speak the language of it, so I understand that the ask of film is relentless. And I understand that you have to meet that ask with an equally relentless energy in order to get it done. So what I principally learned was that, you know, and it may surprise you or may not surprise you or whatever, I'm completely comfortable with every single decision is mine.
OP. Absolutely. Hold on, we're getting the mic to you. Give us 2 seconds.
Hi. Hi. Of all the esteemed directors that you've worked with, was there any particular director that actually informed your decision about how you were going to approach this film?
Absolutely no qualms and stealing from everybody. You know, I mean, that's the thing that you do, because it's, you know, in any walk of life, you know, you gather from people, you know, and the thing you have to realize, though, if you have a creative perspective, how you filter that is always going to be different. It's going to be your perspective, you know. So there's lots of stuff that I've learned from Ridley over the years on the movement of the camera and how you can actually, you can do, you know, Ridley taught me that you can do so many things that other people say you can't do, you know? All you got to do is trust in the fact that you have an eye, and trust in the fact that you understand composition, and trust in the fact that you realize that you can make that camera as fluid as you want it to be, you know? And you can get as close as you want to and be as intimate as you want without getting in the way of the actors, you know? And I think that's probably a comment that most of the actors on my set, it's come back to me you know, many, many times. They'd never been in that situation where there was a world created for them that, you know, they couldn't see the camera, they couldn't even necessarily feel the camera, they knew it was out there somewhere, you know? And so they were just allowed to do their thing. Now, particularly, you'd probably realize the boys in the battlefield, you know? They're in the middle of a gigantic piece of open ground for hours, you know? We did sort of a lineup for where I wanted them to be, and I just knelt down next to them and I said, it's probably going to take me about 90 minutes to get the camera set up and the lights. I want you three to stay here, and I want you to contemplate what you're about to do. Now, I've already had these guys in my sphere of influence for a number of months, right? I took them up to the bush at a place I've got inland from Coffs Harbour in New South Wales, and essentially tortured them for about 10 days. Got them up way too early before they were going to actually play a great trick on them, you know. I told them if they worked really hard, that on the weekend, I'd take them to the pub. So all they had to do was earn the right to go to the pub on the Saturday night, and they had, like, I think, 8 days to earn that right, you know. So I'd get them up at dawn, take them for walks, do yoga, take them to the gym, designed a specific routine for each one of them in terms of shaping the character the way that I wanted to see it. Took them on 50-kilometre bicycle rides. You know, taught them how to ride a horse in the way that I wanted them to ride in terms of the particular period. You know, they did weaponry training, they did, you know, we had lectures at night time on the geopolitics of the time and the history of the Ottoman Empire. And I kept smashing them and pushing information into their heads, and then take them through a 12-hour day, put a bow and arrow in their hands, say you got to get 3 bullseyes before you can eat. So concentrate, focus, because I need you in that 12th hour to still be coming up with an idea. So they got so far into it, so deeply into it. So I gave them the benefit of all the things that I've learned over the years on how to actually concentrate your mind and your body and focus on the character you play. Now, once they have that information, all they have to do is be consistent for that point, and then when they turn up on the set, they are so ready, you know? Their bodies ready, their faces change, they've got a mile deep thing at the back of their eyes because they know who the character is, they know the time period, they know where they know what they want to do emotionally, you know? And then when we were finally ready, they broke my fucking heart. Weren't they amazing?
Yeah.
Right? James Fraser and Ryan Cora in that scene, unbelievable, you know? But that's because they allowed themselves to love the job and get into it and commit to it, you know? Because it's actually really easy once you do that. It's really easy, you know? And it's that time of quiet contemplation that actually gives you your strength and sort of depth when you're playing character. There was another bit to that question too, wasn't there?
I think you covered it somehow. I think you covered it. We've got one question here. Yeah. Did you get the pints?
That's the second part. So you're not listening as well as he is. Right, so here's the gag, right? So I punish them, and every day they walk into this one particular building. When I say punish, it's just, you know, it's actually fun. It's not punishing at all. Like, once you get involved in the fact that you know, because they're eating really well, and they're feeling great, and you know, there's some masseuses standing by, they fall apart and have to be put back together. So, you know, all of that thing is that, you know, it's a, you know, I've decided that I need X because I want that asset. I want to be able to plug this into them. So, you know, I've given up other things in the production in order to have that, right? So, and I keep teasing them every day. 6 more days, and the pub boys. 4 more days, but you got to ride a bit more tomorrow. So, you got to go on a long bike ride, but you got to earn the pub, you know. And every night they come into this building, and they go to these lectures in this sort of theatre room, you know, and they go out of this building. Anyway, it comes to the Saturday night. It's pub night. They've had dinner, they're all dressed up. And seriously, like, you know, for the first time, they've like shampooed their hair and they smell nice, and you know, and because they're thinking, we're going to go into town, we're going to meet women, I'm feeling really good, I'm healthy, I'm full of, you know, everything I need to be full of. And so I have them meet at the same place where they've been doing the lectures. Little do they know, I have a bar at the farm called the Blind Rabbit. And so they're standing there waiting for their car to pick them up, to take them to this legendary pub where there will be women. And I say, boys, come on, we go this way. And I make them walk all the way around the building, come back in through the other door, walking past from the other direction of the places that they know really well. And the door to the bar is open. There's two barmaids in there, the music's pumping. And they said, you motherfucker, this place has been here all weekend. Yeah, how about that? But you know, thanks for that reminder, mate.
Hi Russell, welcome. Colin, because my name is Russell, big fan. I just want to say, I don't want to ask you a question actually. I just want to say, what a fantastic movie. The cast you had, kids, the whole lot, just fantastic. Well done. Okay, cheers.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Everyone from the Aussie Embassy. My name's Paul McKecken. I'm the Deputy Head of Missions from the Australian Embassy. Just a quick one. Your movie, it advances Australia's bilateral relationship in a way between Australia and Turkey that my colleagues or my department might ever do. Good on you, and thanks very much.
Cheers, man.
Well done, Russell. I'm a big fan. My name is Darren Travers. I'm an actor myself. I just wanted to say congratulations on the film. It's absolutely brilliant. And have any plans? Are you thinking about directing any more films in the future, or is it just something like a one-off that you were thinking of?
Mate, I used to think I had the best job in the world, and then I discovered that there's a better one. So, yeah, I've got plans. I'm developing things, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if something comes out of left field that I can't tell you what it is right now, you know. But yeah, it's, but you got to understand what's at play here, right? This is 3 years of my life. It's come down to a point in time, which is this, okay? So it's an artistic gamble, but it's also like a commercial gamble. I have to give a commercial return the people who invested in this, and then they will leave their nut in, and I'll be able to do it again. Being able to do it again means, you know, a commercial result means that I have bought my freedom, that I'm no longer, you know, just the gun for hire who has to go wherever the work is. I can control my time, I can do my pre-production at home, I can do my post-production at home, and then I get two things out of this. One, is I'm much more deeply satisfied working in this medium if I'm in control of it, if I'm creating it, you know. That feels to me at the age of 50 to be a much more adult job, right? So I get to do that. The other part of this gamble is if I get to control where I am, I get to be with my children more. So that's what's on the line for me at the moment. That's the way I view it, you know. I kind of had this opportunity where my life comes back to me. You know, and so I'm really excited by the fact that you enjoyed the film, and I hope you discuss that with other people and help me get a commitment. It's for my kids. It's for my kids.